It may be a no cat class. All right, so let's go ahead, put those weights in our hands, and let's stand up. Find our Pilates posture, weights in hands. Use the weight, kind of allow those weights to drop your shoulders out of your ears. So create space between your ears and shoulders. As always in Pilates, you want to zip those abs, lengthen the tailbone. We're going to bring those weights to our ribs, deep breath in. On the exhale, use the weights to pull your ribs down and knit them together. So you've got that really strong, secure connection. And then we're going to straighten our arms and bring our right arm straight in front of us. And as we do so, I want a little bit of tip into your toes so that you don't sway back into your heels, right? So this is, incorrect. And this is okay. But notice if that elbow is droopy, who wants a droopy elbow, straighten that arm. And did you do anything weird with the shoulder? Try and relax that. Same thing, left arm lifts up. Immediately notice, did your weight shift back? Try and keep weight in the toes and the ball of the foot, shoulder out of your ear, ribs pulled down, back of the neck is long. Bring it down. One more time, right arm, secure everything. Bring it down, left arm, and bring it down. And then both hands go up. And again, we want to check and make sure that we didn't sway back. So we want to pull those ribs down and in with our arms stick straight, holding on to those weights, shoulders out of your ears. Open those arms into a little bit of a V and squeeze the shoulders. So I'm going to squeeze them and let them round a little. Squeeze them, let them round. Gentle bend in your elbows as you come back just so you can get a little bit more range of motion. Notice if you're doing anything weird with your head, try and leave it in place. Last two, last one, bring that down. Now that right arm, if it's okay with your shoulder, is going up by your ear. If that's not good for your shoulder, you're out here, right, in that stick up position. Otherwise, it's by your ear. And again, notice if you went back, we're not a gymnast, take your other weight, grab your right ribs, pull them down. So now I'm pulling down with one weight and lifting up with the other, and then relax that. Left arm up by your ear, right hand to your left rib cage, deep breath in, exhale, pull that down, reach tall, do your left fingers, reach down with your left rib, and then we'll switch it up, right hand up, left ribs down, and then left arm up, right ribs down, right? So keep that in mind during class. Obviously, when we lift our arms up, we want to keep those ribs down. For now, we're going to step out with our left foot, right foot, point the left toes, and we're going to pour something out of those dumbbells, right? And then we're just going to lift that leg off the ground. And we're just holding it, so balance here. And then when you're ready, you're going to see if you could crouch down, speaking of tigers, crouch into that right leg and lift up. Crouch and lift, crouch and lift, crouch and lift. Two more times, crouch and lift, crouch and lift. Shift your weight. Weight on that left leg. Start your motion here in your shoulder. And then as you're ready, add the lift and the crouch. Bend and lift. Good. And then come back. Get those weights going. This time, instead of the leg going up, it's going behind in that curtsy. Just two more. Nice. So now we're going the other way. So that right leg extends and we sit into that curtsy on that side. Shoulders should be yakking a little bit by now. And relax. All right, you should be a little bit over to your left. Hands are, you're just going to kind of hold them at your hips for now. Step to your right, curtsy behind. Step to your right, curtsy behind. If you have the space, one more step and curtsy, bye-bye, Flo. And then we go to the left and curtsy and step and curtsy. One more step and curtsy other way, step, curtsy, step, curtsy, step, curtsy, step, curtsy, step, curtsy, step, curtsy. One more each way. Good, last time, we step and curtsy, step and curtsy, step and curtsy. So maybe you're at the end of your mat. I am. If you are, that's awesome. If not, move to the end of your mat. Turn sideways, wide, wide angle. Bend your knees and find that flat back position. Take your left hand and rest it on your left, what do you call that, thigh. Right arm straight down. I just want you to squeeze it up. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now I want you to give it a little bend. Palm is facing the left. Open it. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now, thumb is facing out, and we do a V, or a half a V. Good, one more. All right, and now this one's a little tricky. I want you to turn the palm towards your booty. By the way, make sure you're not rounded, you're extended and your abs are in. Elbow is bent, and then you're just gonna lift that arm as a unit, and you should feel those muscles behind your shoulder blades working. One more time, and relax. Give me a little cat and a cow, and then find that flat back, and always support that with those abs in. This time the right elbow gets to rest. Left arm just dangles, and we just squeeze that shoulder blade up. Squeeze, nice straight arm. 2 more. Good. And then a slight bend in the elbow. Elbow goes back. Are your abs still in? Otherwise, we're not supporting that back. Good. And then we do half a V. Good. And then that last one, palm is facing your knee, and we lift in an L shape. L, 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 hands on your thighs, cat, cow, support. All right, we're gonna try both arms. So both arms dangle, but don't let this happen, right? And shift a little weight back into your booty, and we're just gonna squeeze up for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Elbows wide for 4, 3, 2, and 1. You're gonna feel this one in your glutes into a V. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then those elbows are in that L shape, and we squeeze the shoulder blades together. Good. Hands on your thighs, cat, cow, and then we're gonna do 1 because I messed up, I forgot this one. I have to remember it. Okay. Palms are facing each other, and we are going, no, sorry. There we go. All right. Palms are facing each other, and we squeeze up. And weights down, walk your way all the way out, high push up, bend your knees, come down, you get to relax. Walk those hands out in front of you for a moment, hips sit back, travel forward in your cow and back in your cat, and let's get some mobility through that spine. Hanging out in that position, you may have felt a little bit of tension in that low back. Beautiful. And then from this hands and knees position, shoulders roll out of your ears, abs draw in, back of the neck is long, chin is tucked. We're going to slide that right hand forward and that left leg back. We're going to extend those toes and hold here. If you want to, you could lift your right arm and hold there. If you wanted, you could tap and lift. And bring that down. Give me a cat, give me a cow. Support your abs, your back by pulling in your abs and your ribs. Left hand, right leg, lift that right leg just to hip height. Left arm goes up if you want. And then if you want to tap and lift, feel free. And relax. Give me a cat, give me a cow. All right, adding on, we're going to take that weight behind your left leg. And then I'm going to need to bend my knee so that my heel gets really close to the booty. We're going to leave both hands underneath us. We're going to support by pulling in those abs. And then we're going to flex that left heel up in the air, right? And we're going to hold here. If we want to add on, we're going to lift that right arm by the ear. And if we want to add on, we lift and tap. Good. Bring it down. Weight behind your right leg. Lift it up. Make sure your abs are pulled in. You're trying to get that quad parallel to the ground. Option to stay here or extend that left arm. Option to pulse up and down. And relax. All right. We have one last variation, I know. Are we ever going to work our abs? Your abs should be working this whole time, supporting that low back. If you want to, put one weight in front of your right hand. Weight goes back behind your left leg. We lift up, abs in, right arm up, or grab the weight, right arm up. And then again, stay in the bird dog or lift and lower. Two more. And relax. Weight behind that right leg. Other one at your left hand if you decide you want to use it. Right leg lifts, find that. Left arm lifts or weight in your left hand and then stay or lift and lower. And all the way down, weights untucked from your knees, come down onto the ground. I want you to put both weights in your right hand and bring that right arm out from your shoulder. So the weights are, your hands are underneath the weights so that they're holding your right hand down. And then I want you to start to pivot your knees to the left to get a stretch in that right shoulder. Nod your head yes, so it doesn't come into your neck. And you should have a nice stretch across that right side of your chest. Your knees don't have to be all the way over to the side and they don't need to be, squared up, stacked, just enough that you twisted here to get that shoulder stretch. And then we're going to mosey that all back through center. Carefully bring the weights into your left hand and slide that arm over to the left, get it out from your shoulder so you start to feel the stretch, even in your biceps and forearm possibly. And then nod your head yes, and let your knees drop to the right and feel that stretch on the front of the left shoulder. And then we're going to bring everything back through center. We're going to grab one weight and on each side of our body, they will rest. All right, let's hug those knees in for a moment and just massage that back side to side. Bring those legs together. Exhale, pull the knees close. Inhale, let them move away. Exhale, hug them in. Inhale, let them move away. Let's put those things together. So we're going to exhale, bring the knees in. Inhale, let them open to the side. And exhale back through center and up and in. So making a circle, my knees are going out and around. And then I'm going to reverse that circle. And then we're going to leave the knees together and go back side to side and forward and back. And then put those together so it becomes a circle. Go a couple in one direction and then a couple in the other. So hopefully we have warmed up the spine. We worked it already. We worked our upper back, our shoulder blade muscles, and our chest open. We're going to bring those fingers straight up in the air and we're going to press the shoulders down and up a couple times. Same movement we've been using, right? But without the weights. Head nods yes. I have a tendency to tip my chin up when I'm doing this. So nod your head yes. because you have to suffer whatever I do. All right, leave those fingers pointed to the sky, deep breath in. On the exhale, we're gonna pull those ribs down toward the hips, knit them together, and allow that to float the head, neck, and shoulders off the ground. Stay lifted here, and we're gonna hold this for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale down, deep breath in. Exhale, lift up again. We're gonna hold again, but this time bring your arms maybe into a V. Hold for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale down, exhale, lift. This time arms go up overhead if you want, and we hold for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale down, adding a single weight if you want. Exhale, lift. I have my weight, my hands on each side of the weight. We hold at the top, reaching through the fingers, and exhale down. Just 2 more like that. Exhale, lift. Inhale, reach and hold. 4, 3. Exhale down. Last time we exhale, lift and reach and bring it down. Sometimes when you use the weight, you're going to feel more tension in your neck, and your trapezius wants to help out. So here's another option. Exhale, lift. On the inhale, give your head some support, but the weight is still back there, so I'm getting a little extra work. Just be cautious about elbows here, and then come down. Deep breath in, exhale, lift, support, but with that extra weight over your head, and come down. Then finally, if you want more, you're going to add both weights, and you can do that by holding one weight in each hand, right? And then arms go up overhead if that's your choice, or they could even come out to the sides, or you can put the weights together just as you held that single weight, right? So holding both weights if you want. Exhale, lift, inhale, reach overhead, and exhale down. And then, of course, you can do the variation where you simply support your head at that top, inhale, and exhale down. 2 more times. Whichever version you're doing is fine. And then on the last version, I want you to stay lifted and hold, and maybe try and go to your most challenging position. And then relax. All right. So, sorry, I'm just doing a quick change here. We're going to add on to that right into our double leg stretch. That was, of course, ab prep. So you're going to decide whether you want 1 weight or 2 weights or no weights. The upper body is going to be doing the same thing, but the lower body will start in tabletop. So deep breath in, exhale, lift up, inhale, extend, and then we exhale, and maybe you're just going to tap the weight to your knees. And of course, you have the option to add and make it 2 weights. You also have the option, sorry, maybe too many options, to support your head, right? Legs could still be extending to add that extra resistance. And last option, if you wanted, and your head could be down if you wanted, would be to put the weight below your legs. So now I have more resistance going that way. It makes me want to tip. So you have to use those ribs and abs to hold you in place. And again, it could just be here. It could be upper body also. And it could be upper body with legs. So you're just going to advance as you want or need to. You don't have to add all of that. You can add none of it. You can add some of it. You choose. Beautiful. And then come on down, legs stacked tabletop. For this one, either no weights or 1 weight in each hand for single leg stretch. Deep breath in, exhale, we float the head, neck, and shoulders off the ground. Arms are just hovering at hip height. I'm going to extend my right leg, and I'm going to lift my left arm up over by my head. I'm going to reach through my right toes, extend through my left fingers. Inhale everything back to center. Right arm, left leg, reach. Inhale, center. And we go again. And center. Almost there. I didn't forget you. I just thought we'd do a full set of 10. All right, hug the knees in, weights on top of those knees, and that should give you a little extra stretch. And then one weight off to the side, and we are going to take that other weight below our knees. So maybe use that fleshy part where your calf muscles are to hold the weight. Legs in tabletop, so of course knees over hips, ribs pulled down, back of the neck is long. Deep breath in, exhale, staple your belly button to your spine, and on the inhale, let those legs move away from your body, hold at the bottom for a moment, exhale back up, tabletop position. So for our toe touches. Two more. And we're going to relax. We're going to put one weight on each hip flexor. And then as always, when we use the weights, we're not going to grip the weights in this position. We're going to take two fingers and just push them down to hold them in place. Heels back underneath your knees, everything about hip distance apart, if that's okay, or zip everything up as a single unit. Lift those hips. And deep breath in, exhale, give that booty a little extra tuck to lift a little higher. And that's all we're going to do. We're going to tuck and lift, tuck and lift. Maybe you could lift your tippy toes off the ground so you feel those hamstrings a little bit more. And then come down. All right, let's put both weights over on your left hip. And then again, hold them down with your left hand. We're going to put the right foot or right hand on the ground. We'll lift those hips and then we're going to go up a little higher. Right hand, maybe let's leave it on the ground to start with. And then that right leg is going to lift and lower. And we're going to make sure that we don't let that left glute drop. For a little extra challenge, hover the right hand, reach through your fingertips, ribs stay in. Toes can be pointed or flexed, or you can point on the way down and flex on the way up. And relax everything down. Ouch. Move that over to your right hip. And again, now the right hand is going to hold those weights down and in place. We're going to lift the hips, use that left hand for support to start with. Press down on those weights, lift that booty, booty, booty. Left leg goes up and down. And for a little extra challenge, left hand hovers. And we're going to bring that down. We're going to bring one weight behind each leg. And we're going to pull in. And then just close the gap here so you can use the edges of that weight. And you're going to circle again. But I'm mostly using my arms, right? All right. And then we'll stack the legs up. We're going to put those weights on the ankles. Right down at your ankles. Knees can be open or closed, forehead up, and we roll like a ball. And then come up to a seated position. If you need to roll side to side, that's fine. Bring your weights beside your hips, hands under those weights. Lift up so you're almost like you're doing a tricep dip, but then scoot those hips back. And let's go into a spine stretch. You can use your weights to press onto the ground to hinge forward a little more. It gives you a little lift in your spine before you hinge. And then we're back up. All right. So we're going to go into our roll down series and turn that into roll-ups if we so choose, since we have the weights with us. So we'll start really simply, roll down position, deep breath in, exhale, hinge, inhale, pull the ribs in, exhale, back up, inhale, stay tall. Exhale, hinge, option to open your arms into a T, roll it back up. Notice what goes on with your knees, option to roll back and go into a V. And last option with your arms and no weights, arms overhead. If you want to grab a single weight, you could do your roll down and you could just lift a little higher and hold and then lower the weight before you try to come up, right? So you hinge back, give a little lift with the weight and bring it back. Challenge would be to roll back and lift it all the way up by your ears and bring it down. Or you could grab one weight in each hand, hinge back and go into your T position. Always making sure you lower the weights before you try to move forward. You could also do a V, of course, right? And then finally, if you wanted, you could hinge back with one weight in each hand, arms up overhead. That would be a big challenge, and come up. You're going to do 4 more of whichever version you're doing, please. Two more. And sit tall. All right, we're going to add rotation, but we're going to sit a little higher on our glutes. So pull those out from under you, preferably one weight in each hand. It'll just make it easier, and it's not necessarily going to make it that much harder. Arms straight, squeeze those shoulder blades back. Give me a little hinge, not as much as you did before. Rotate towards me with just one arm, back to center, other way. And then once you get this going, if you wanted to, you could add this position, right? So the back arm lifts when the front arm twists. And it's an upright twist, right? It's not we're not grinding on those vertebrae. And we're being aware of what the knees are doing, trying to keep them square. And relax. Woo, okay. So we're going to have the option to stick with roll downs. Roll-ups don't work for everyone. You guys know, most of you all know if roll-ups do or don't work for you. If you want to try a roll-up, and some of you already know what you can do with the weights to make the roll-up doable. Otherwise, you're just going to exhale, roll down a vertebra at a time if that's possible. Inhale, exhale, roll up with control, no kicking of the legs, no shimmying of the shoulders, right? If that doesn't work for you, go back to the roll down, or as a lot of you know, weights go in your hands, palms up, roll down with control, keep your knuckles close to the ground, and that little bit of extra weight out in front of you might allow you to do that roll up, okay? So those are a couple options. Stick with the roll downs if you know that's better for you, better for your spine. If you have osteoporosis, any kind of spinal stenosis. Ooh, I never realized those rhyme. I can use those on my Seuss day. And if you're doing a full roll up, you are welcome to straighten your legs out, right? If that's okay with your spine. If you feel that more in your low back, then maybe go back to the bent knee position. And then the last option, you're only going to add this on if you could do roll-ups in the first place, and that would be to put those weights on your shoulders. When you go down, it's not quite as big of a deal. When you start to come up, it feels as if there's some giant person on your shoulders. So you choose any of these options: roll downs, variations with the weights or not, roll ups with assistance or without. You're doing just 2 more of whatever you're doing. Make sure that when you come up, you at least sit tall, right? You don't want to have that roundness in your shoulders, right? So extend those ears over those shoulders. And next time you come up, you're done with these. Woo! And we are rolling over, and you're facing me. Your weights are coming with you. You're gonna lie down, arm underneath your ear, hips are stacked, knees are stacked, heels are stacked, waistline is lifted for that mouse house. Now I'm gonna go ahead, most of you have done the clam series with me. I'm gonna go ahead and grab both weights, right? So both weights are on my top leg, and as always, I'm just letting my palm rest on top of those weights. It's not as if I'm holding the weights off of my leg, because that would defeat the purpose. Deep breath in, exhale, lift that mouse house, leg is gonna lift as a unit. Keep everything in those 90-degree angles. Good, then we're gonna put the feet together and pivot the knees open. So more of that clam look. You can have your feet in Pilates V if you prefer that. And then we're gonna let the knees stay low, but the heels are gonna be lifted, and we're gonna, again, pivot open in that clam. I hope you're feeling these in that top hip. All right, and relax. Yes, I was nice. We only did that 3-part series. Give that hip a little love, but we did more of each one. All right, we're coming up. We're staying on this same side. As always, if you need a little extra elbow cushioning, feel free as we go into some side planks. Weights, you probably just want one weight at this point. You know your favorite version of side plank. First, protect the shoulder, push it back, lift up out of it, lats engage, space between your ears and shoulders, come up in your side plank, lift this bottom hip an extra inch today, and then top arm, poke a hole in the ceiling, poke a hole in the ceiling, poke a hole, Pocahontas. Last 2, last 1, hand down, weight on your hip, only a finger holds it in place, lift, lift. And come down. Woo! Hopefully you felt those. We have another side to do for our clam and our plank. So we roll over, other side, weights are in front of you, knees are stacked, ankles, hips, arm right underneath your ear, waistline lifted, mouse house. Weight on that top leg, we lift as a unit. And then we're going to put the feet together and pivot open for the clam. Good, and then the knees stay low and the heels go up, and we pivot open again. And relax. Give that hip a little love. Hopefully it feels as if it needs it and deserves it. And then as we come up, if need be, a little extra cushioning for your side plank, shoulder back, lift up out of it, space between your ears and shoulders, one weight in that top hand, bring yourself up in that side plank, lift that bottom hip, and then that top finger, poke a hole in the sky. Good. Hand holds onto the weight as low as you can get it, press up. And bring it down. Woo! All right, we're rolling over onto our abs, and go ahead and put one weight on the other side so you have a weight on each side of your mat. Come down. Just stack your hands up so your forehead can rest there, bend your knees, and let's just windshield wiper, loosen up that low back again, please. And then leave the legs a little wide today, maybe not mat width, but close to that. and then toes, as always, point. Kneecaps lift. Let your knees bend and touch the floor, lift them up. Tap them, lift them, tap them, lift them. My toes stay down the whole time. So I'm using my quads, I'm pumping my quads, right? Kneecaps lift, quads engage, knees bend, and we get sloppy on the floor. Lift and slop, lift and slop. Last time, lift, kneecaps lifted, toes engaged on the floor, toenails engaged on the floor. I don't know if that makes sense. And then our hands come underneath those weights. Kneecaps are still lifted, legs are a little wide, shoulders, the first thing you want to notice is that they would probably droop onto the ground. So just like we did with our quads, lift your shoulders, drop them, lift them, drop them, lift, drop, one more, lift, drop, lift, leave them lifted. Knees are lifted, shoulders are lifted, toes are pushed into the ground, belly button, let's lift it, drop it, lift it, drop it, lift, drop, my shoulders drop, lift, drop, lift. So now my belly button is lifted, my shoulders are lifted, my knees are lifted, my toes are down, and last thing we're gonna add on, deep breath in, exhale, lift that upper body a little bit. And then all you're gonna do, my palms are facing the ceiling, I want you to rotate your pinkies to the ceiling and then palm to the ceiling. Pinkies, palm, you can feel work in between, not right in between your shoulder blades, but on the backs of your shoulders. Squeeze, squeeze, knees are lifted, abs are lifted, toes are down, pinky to the sky, and relax. Oh, whew. I don't know if that felt like much to you guys, but you might notice those tomorrow, especially since we're doing another set. But this time, our big toes touch. Kneecaps lift, toes stay down, belly button lifts, shoulders rotate and lift. Head back to center, deep breath in. Exhale, lift the torso, rotate your pinkies to the sky, and then palms to the sky. Pinkies and palms. Now, you can either leave your upper back in this isometric contraction, or you can lift and squeeze, adding a little bit of action in that lower back. And relax. Ooh. Again, that might be something that you may or may not notice today, but you may notice tomorrow. All right, let's press up, press back in that seated position. But as we go back, we're going to take a weight behind our left knee. So then we sit back, we're a little bit more engaged on that left leg. And then we're going to walk over, hands to the right, maybe even take the left hand over top of the right. And then we come up, and you're going to put a weight behind the right leg. The other one can come out. Sit back on that right side, walk fingers to the left, right over left. All right. And then we're just going to put one weight out front, slide down onto our abs, or at least onto your hips. Make sure your hands are at least this far apart. Let's rotate the thumbs up towards the ceiling, shoulders back and down. If you want to, you can actually bring that weight back between the palms of your hands and give it a squeeze. So you're just going to have a little extra awareness in that upper body. Shoulders back, pull your belly button up, pull your ribs up, start to lift into a plank. You can go up on your toes or the fronts of your thighs, and whichever one you're doing, here we are. Head in line with your spine. Shoulders are broad, ribs are in, abs are in. Tailbone is slightly tucked. Thighs are lifted, heels are pressing. Squeezing on that weight if that's okay with you. We have 15 more seconds. And relax. Woo! Let's come up, hands and knees. Put your left hand in front and your right knee, and let's travel through a cat-cow. Beautiful. Square it all up, and then right hand in front, left knee in front. Same thing, cat-cow, cow-cat. right, okay. So now we are coming into our mermaid position. So you're gonna sit down with your left leg in front and your right leg off to the side. And we usually are a little cramped here, so lift up, pull that left glute out from under you so you can sit nice and tall. Sink a weight, what am I thinking? In your left hand, there we go. You're going up and over to the left, just a little bit, because that should just help you stretch. And then bring this arm up, and you're over to the right. Good. So a little stretch first, not a lot, back to center, up and over. Good. Little stretch, center, up and over. Don't let just the arm move, right? Now, if you wanted a bigger challenge, other arm comes with you. So we stretch just a wee bit first, and then we go up and over. Now this way your arm can't, go first, and back to center. Little pre-stretch, center, up and over. Good. Last time like this. Beautiful. Now, put that weight in your right hand, right? This is going to be a little more interesting. Left arm off to the side, but keep it in an L. Don't let it just go up and down. And then we go up and over and back to center. It should help you balance a little bit, right? Because it keeps some weight over there. So you may be able to go a little farther. But of course, you could lift that other arm and make it more challenging. And of course, you can go back to both arms if you want. You only have to do 2 more. And then leave the weight in the right hand just as you had it and switch your legs around. Although you probably have to put it down so you can square up those glutes. So now right leg in front, left leg behind, oops, oops, up and over. All right, weight in your right hand, right hand to start with. And we're gonna give it a little stretch to start with, over to the left. Then we come back through center and then we go over to the right. So a little pre-stretch, back to center, and up, right? And then one more challenge. Arms could go up by your ears. And of course, you could latch on to the weights. It's not easier to go to the stretch side, isn't it? And then finally shift that weight into your left hand. This is where it gets a little easier because that weight helps us keep some weight on that side, whereas our leg wants to come up maybe otherwise. But of course that V would make it a little more challenging, and you can go back to that I, but you did that one already, so you don't have to. You have 2 more of whichever one you're doing. Nice, it's like a blink, blink. All right, and relax. That was I Dream of Jeannie for anyone who needs a little information there. All right, we're heading over onto our back. Bring your weights with you. All right, good news. Last thing we're doing here. And we're going to slam and jam through it. Weights in your left hand. Take your right hand, put it on your across your ribs, and make sure some fingers are touching your left ribs. Deep breath in. Exhale, pull the ribs down. Secure them towards the hips. Abs drawn in. Bring your arm by your ear. Top, nod your head. Yes, stay here. Isometric contraction. And then just lift that arm straight above you. Up and over, but pull the ribs down and back up 1 more or 2 more times like that. And then this time up and over, bend the elbow for some tricep, extend it straight, bring it up and over, bend, straighten, and up. 2 more. Good, last time, up and over, leave the arm overhead, keep the ribs pulled down, bend and straighten, 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 straighten. 4, 3, 2, 1. Weights in your right hand, left hand across your rib cage, fingertips on those right ribs. Exhale, staple it down to your spine, arm by your ear, feel that challenge, feel those abs grow flat, and then lift up. Inhale, up and over, but keep the ribs down and back up. 2 more like that, up and over. Last time like that, up and over. And this time we go up and over, bend, straighten, bring it up and over, bend, straighten, and up. 2 more, up, over, bend, straighten, up. Last time, up and over, bend, straighten, and lift. And then we go overhead, isometric, but bend and straighten, bend and straighten, bend and straighten, 2 and 1. Arms out in a T position. And relax, nod your head, yes. Leave your right weight where it is. Bring your other weight behind your right knee. Hug it in. And then use the dumbbell end to bring that leg to the right and back through center, to the left and back through center. Straighten out your right leg, flex, or left leg, flex through the heel if you can. Bring that right knee in nice and close. And then listen up. Move that weight to the arch of your right foot. Keep your knee bent and lift the heel to the sky. But I'm using that weight to push down on that foot. I could give it a little roll through the arch and that should feel kind of good. Don't break any bones though. And then straighten that leg if you can, still holding that weight. If that's not happening, bring it lower, right? And then point and flex. You could even roll that weight up and down that calf as you point and flex. So it's sort of like when we use the tennis ball. Finally, you're going to bring that weight on the outside of that right leg. Right hand shifts under the right weight. Turn the toes in and start to feel that stretch all the way down from your outside of your heel to your ankle, your calf, your IT band into your hip. And then finally bend that knee and drop into a nice twist with that weight on top if that's okay with you. Good. Come on back through center. Put your right foot on the ground, cross it over, and then you're going to put the left weight on top of your left shin. You can thread your needle. And then crisscross the legs completely, and let's use that weight to get a little extra pull. And then finally, both hands can slide under weights as the knees go to the left for a twist. And you can decide where you want those feet to land. As you come back through center, straighten your left leg, right leg uncrosses and straightens. Leave the left weight on the left side, bend your left knee, bend your right knee, and then that weight is going to go behind your left leg. There we go. Use the dumbbell to draw a couple circles, and then bring that knee in. We're going to flex through the right heel and straighten it. And then we're going to see if we can put that weight on the bottom of the left heel or foot, arch, and press that foot to the sky. And then maybe you can straighten that leg and you can roll that weight up and down that arch, or you can move it behind the leg and you can point and flex as you roll that weight up and down. Again, you're going to feel just a little extra love and attention there. And then we'll turn the toe in. We're going to bring the weight onto the outside of that foot with that toe turned in, feeling that stretch all the way through the outside of the ankle, calf muscles, outside of the hip, IT band, and then we bend it and we let it drop and twist. And that other hand can slide under your weight. As you come back through center, left foot on the ground, crisscross, applesauce, thread it through, weight on your right shin. Even just that little extra pressure you may feel on that left hip. And then finally, crisscross, both hands under weights, and drop to the right, please. As you come back through center, right leg straightens, left leg follows. Woo! Reach your arms over your head, shake, reach, grab your knees to roll up or roll over onto your side. Good. Slide those hands forward, cow, roll it back, cat. And then from that cow position, tuck those toes, lift it up, walk those heels and hands closer together, pedal out those heels. Wide stance, drop, nod yes, shake no. Bend your knees, hands on your thighs, cat and cow. Big deep breath in. Nice work, everyone. Thank you guys and happy Saturday. And let's see, the answer to that trivia question. All right, so dim sum translated. Is it delicious bites,